Welcome back to Modern Warfare. I'm doing this video, I have to get it off my chest. I don't care if people are in the comments saying, oh, you're just bitching again, I'm going to ask a straight up question. What is the first thing you want from a game when you make that purchase? Whether it be an indie title or a AAA title, what is that very first thing? What were video games designed for? They are designed for fun. People want to be able to have fun when they make a purchase. Every single AAA title, ever since the first one that released after Red Dead Redemption 2 last year, has just been a major flop. You've got Anthem, Division 2, Breakpoint has followed suit a month after release. Now Modern Warfare is taking the same route and it's really starting to annoy me. With Anthem, there was 5 years of pre-production, so they say the game was being developed over the course of 7 years. It was only actually during the E3 trailer during 2017 when the developers found out what they were working on. Because of that, during the first months of 2018, there was literally one mission ready to go for that game. Then, if you've actually played Anthem, there was a main mission during the campaign, like the story of the game, where you have to do these challenges to open up these tombs. That mission was purposely designed to make players take a longer time to go through the story because the game was lacking content. They rushed it out. Every single company is rushing games out, trying to make money, and they don't realise how much is going to bite them in the arse because people only have, it's only a matter of time before people's tempers start fucking flying off the roof. And that's exactly what's happened with Modern Warfare. I'm not in any way, shape or form quitting playing this game, but it's frustrating to load it up on a daily basis, and I'll show you exactly why. First off, we've got all these game modes that are being released whenever. There's probably a week in between or something like that. There's no problem with that. They want to get more content into the game for people to play. They had the leaderboard set up. I actually tweeted out about it. They had the leaderboard set up for kill confirmed. It wasn't in the game. They've now released it, so that's good. It's an extra thing to play. But they're adding all these modes in and they're not fixing the things that aren't working. I've put out a tweet about this as well. If we go to our barracks from day one, in the multiplayer challenges, you go to your missions. When you complete these objectives, you get these guns. So you get the Piercer, that's an MP7. You can use the gun before it unlocks, so say it's a level 54 weapon, you're only level 20. If you do boot camp, you can use the MP7 Piercer. I don't think you unlock camo challenges and things straight away. You have to unlock the gun first. But you can still use the MP7. So it's pretty cool. These challenges are actually appealing. If you play the game, if you enjoy the multiplayer, then this is something to go for. There's even legendary weapons. You have End in Misery, Old Wounds. This challenge here, Warrior's Code, the Steel Curtain, there is no possible way to get this gun at the moment because the developers aren't fucking listening to anything we are telling them, and it's really starting to get on my nerves. You go through these objectives. You've got public wins, get 75 kills, 5 headshots in TDM, 20 kills with equipment, capture 20 flags in ground war, get 20 point blank kills. Bearing in mind that one took me a good 4 or 5 hours because I was using the shotgun and other guns. You have to wait till people are right up in your face. You don't even get 5 meters. They pretty much have to be touching you for it to count as a point blank, which is understandable. But moving on, get 5 wins in any objective mode. I must have had about 200 wins since unlocking this. I've played Cyber Attack, I've played Domination, Ground War. I've never touched Search and Destroy, but I know people that have played Search and it's still not counting. Headquarters, literally every mode, even TDM, that's not really an objective-based mode, you just go in and get a kill. But something that has an objective besides killing, so like Domination where you're capturing the flags, nothing counts. We cannot progress past this challenge, and then we still have more to do after. But now it's got so far into the game, there's no point, because that Steel Curtain, I mean, it looks like a variant of an AK. I'm not 100% sure what gun it is, but I'm over level 55. I'm currently sat at rank 73, so I have every gun in the fucking game. So what is the point? There's no point me now doing that challenge if it ever gets fixed. Everything that comes into this game besides the game modes is broken. These daily challenges, they don't track. If I was to go into a game right now and kill 2 enemies in proximity of a smoke grenade, it's not going to build up to that. I might get the XP for actually completing that challenge because these daily challenges still work even if they're not tracking, but visual bugs are unbelievable on this game. If we go over to my weapons, I've just loaded the game up. Look at this. M4A1, level 1. Every single gun here, level 1. And you can see the orange dots in the top right corner to say that I've got attachments. You have to level the gun up to get attachments. And here's proof. This is a level 71 weapon. I've maxed out the M4. Customize, camos, completionist is to complete all, but level 71 is when you unlock skulls. I've got every single skull's camo for this weapon. I'm trying. Yesterday, I dedicated an entire day. Literally, it must have been about 10 or 12 hours of gameplay, and I wasn't giving up. I was so persistent to try and get these challenges done. I've done all of spray paint, all of woodland, all of digital, all of dragon. I've got one left on splinter, but if you have a look, get long shot kills. I don't know how many I have. I think this one was 75. I can't see now because I've done it. But then I can't actually track that because it's showing up as 0. Every single weapon I have is showing as level 1. This is showing as 0. And when you go into a game as well, I'm rank 73. So it's either going to say, it should say 73 or it should say 18, meaning I've hit 55. I'm level 18 after 55. But it doesn't. A lot of games it'll show that I'm level 71. It'll show that I'm level 4. Everything. Visual bugs are really, really irritating on this game. And there are so many of them. All of these challenges, 0 mounted kills for both of these. But I've clearly got some because I've got 9 of the 11 camos here. And dedicating an entire day. This only bugged out yesterday when the daily reset happened, and I've done everything. Like, my Xbox has been hard reset. I've had one of my mates fizzle. He has actually deleted his saved data and loaded the game back up. Nothing is fixing it, and the developers aren't listening and getting this shit fixed. This stuff to fix, these visual bugs, I'm going to guess, I don't know because I'm not a programmer, but I'm going to guess they're as easy, if not easier, than releasing new game modes. But there's just nothing being done. Every single game that gets released, nothing is being done at the moment. Indie games is probably going to be the way forward because all of these AAA companies have just become so corporate. All they want is money. It's unbelievable that this is actually being accepted by the community. We spend our cash. They're giving you half-baked products. They're not giving you actual stuff that's finished. And it's really, really starting to become frustrating because there's so many games that have potential, so many games that are amazing, but there's just little things that hold them back. Like in the campaign on this game, I loved every single minute of it. I've completed it now. The videos will be going up. But there's like a couple of bugs here and there. I got kicked off, I got disconnected from the servers for whatever reason. I actually had to go back and play through that mission again to earn my XP token for online. There's little bits of lag here and there. There's just some things that don't seem right within these games, and the developers need to start listening. Like, you go back to Anthem and there's just bugs left, right and centre. My mate Gaz still can't play Anthem to this day, bearing in mind it's now 8.5 months after release. His game just crashes every time he loads it up. He'll load it up 5 minutes into Fort Tarsis or makes his way to his Javelin, starts loading into free play, game crash. Fizzle on the Xbox One X on Modern Warfare, still having his console being bricked every day. But you had Anthem with all their bugs, and you've now had lots of people leave the development team. They're releasing stuff, they indefinitely delayed their roadmap because they didn't have a clue what they were doing. Then you had Division 2 release, up until level 30, it was amazing. You get to the end game and it's like, oh fuck me, there's nothing to do on the game. Then you've got Hamish sitting there every week saying, this is going to happen to the game, that's going to happen to the game, and when they release it, there's 20 bug fixes, 40 extra bugs added. It's always 1 step forward and 2 steps back with that game. Then Breakpoint comes out. The story is so twisted, it doesn't make any sense at all. Because as soon as you start that game, you go into the story, a couple of missions later or whatever, whenever it unlocks, your first mission with Walker, who is a big selling point for the game, is to kill Walker. You kill Walker, you get towards the end of the story, then it unlocks 2 more missions in his storyline to find out his plans. Wouldn't you go and find his plans and then kill him? It doesn't make sense, and he was such a big selling point, as I said. He was in the game for about 10 minutes. He had 2 cutscenes and a boss fight. That was all he had. And then on the very final mission of the game, I think I've stated this in a video before on Breakpoint, every single loot drop you get regardless of your gear score, so I was 241 at the time I did the final mission, everything drops at 150. That was 91 below my gear score, and the missions beforehand were dropping at 241. But just that final mission, everything's locked at 150. Not only that, but when you get to 220 gear score, they've gated it so that you have to... I originally thought, and I posted a video saying it was time-based, but after more playing, because I left the game for about 12 hours, and my gear score didn't improve. I was at 244 or something. Like, my gear was 246, but everything I was picking up was 244. And then I found out through the comments that it's not the time. You basically, when you're 244 gear score, it will show everything in the shop as 242. You then have to go and open up like 50 loot crates to go to 243. Then you have to open another 50 for your gear to drop a 244. They literally gated one of the most important things in the game, and that's progressing through your gear score. And not only that, what sense is it that you grind your ass off to get to 250, then you go and do elite faction missions to get to 252. Every single piece you have is 252, your gear score is 252. You cannot craft weapons at 252. If you've done the story missions, because I know a lot of people haven't, and you've got, say, the Zastava M93, whatever that armor ignoring sniper. If you've got that, you can only craft it at 250. What is the point? Every single gear piece in that game, there's no point dismantling it, because you get gear parts and you can't fucking use them. There's no use for them in the game. You dismantle weapons, you get weapon parts, you use those to upgrade the damage, the accuracy, the range. You get your weapons to Mark 3. With gear, you cannot craft gear, and when you dismantle it, you get the gear parts and they sit in your inventory doing nothing. They're pretty much just staring at you saying, help me. I have no use in this game, I have no purpose. But then it comes to COD, and it's not just the visual bugs that are annoying, it's the way this game was developed. It's just irritating. The challenges don't track. The missions aren't working, as I've already stated. Your ranks are saying different actual ranks when you get into games and stuff. The Xbox One X is still crashing. The camping is unbelievable on this game. Like, literally, I'm surprised the cities, like the maps that you're playing on, aren't filled with fucking tents. There are people literally camping in every corner possible. The 725 shotgun, it's the most broken gun I've ever seen in a game. It's got the range of a bloody assault rifle, it's got the power of a shotgun, like 25 meters plus. It's a one-hit kill. The spawns absolutely suck. There's been multiple times of me dying and me getting kills where you can literally see the player just appear out of nowhere because they've only just spawned in and they're being dropped because the spawns... And like, you go into TDM, and when I'm playing and I'm on the team that's doing well, I would go like towards their spawn and the spawns would switch, as TDM's always been. The spawn switch, but there was a couple of games I played yesterday, we were being spawn killed, and they were literally standing in front of where we spawn into the map, and the spawn didn't change. Skill-based matchmaking. You literally go into a game, you do good, the next game you're going to do shit because it puts you in with a load of sweats. And not only that, because of the player, the different skill levels and stuff in the game, because the matchmaking doesn't work properly at all, it's all over the place. But halfway through a game, people are doing terrible, they're going to back out. The game will rarely ever fill back up with other players. If you've got an entire team of 6 on one side, you're with one mate, so it's a party of 2, you've got 4 randoms on your team, them 4 start doing whack, they're going to back out of the game. It's a 2v6 for like... I was playing Cyber Attack with Con, and obviously like he's an absolute boss when he wants to be. There are times when he plays bad, but he's an absolute boss on this game sometimes. And he managed to... I had a couple of call-outs in the round, but he managed to do an entire round 6v1. He absolutely clutched it. He won us a round against 6 players. But in that entire game, it was like 3-2 at the time when all the teammates left. We had to go for the rest of that game without other players joining. And then not only that, there's a bug that Fizzle has found with the riot shield. When you equip it, for some reason on his screen, he can only see a floating head. Wherever the riot shield is, from the riot shield, from the top of it down, the rest of that player's body is invisible. I'm going to stop ranting because this is going to be a long video, but as I said, I've got to get it off my chest. Like, we've had Watch Dogs Legion and Quarantine delayed because Ubisoft have come out, and I don't know if this is 100% accurate, but apparently they've come out and said Division 2 and Breakpoint hasn't had the sales they wanted it to have. Like, wanted them games to have, so therefore they're delaying other games to make sure they're released in a better state. But I guarantee, like, that is amazing. If a company can notice that and put that into place, that is an amazing thing. But I guarantee, like, everyone's been saying it to me for a long time now, and I'm just starting to realise it. But with Ubisoft's track record, they'll release Watch Dogs Legion 6 months after the originally planned release date, and it'll still be a half-baked game. These companies need to pull their fingers out. They need to start giving us, like, because I mean, at the end of the day, most games I still get my money's worth, but I want it to be a more enjoyable experience, not just for me, but for everyone within the community. It's starting to take the piss how much we are taken for granted. Like, they literally just see money, and that's all they give a shit about. And there are genuinely no excuses for it. Infinity Ward have been working on COD for years. These games are now put into a 3-year cycle between Treyarch, Sledgehammer and Infinity Ward, and now this game's been released with all these visual bugs that they're not fixing. I have played so many indie games with small development teams, like 4 or 5 developers, and they make games not necessarily as big as AAA titles, but they make big enough games and they run perfectly. There's not a single bug within the game. If there is, it gets hot fixed. And I know on consoles things are going to be a little bit different because you have to go through all the security stuff, all them different processes to push your update out. But some companies can do it. So there's no excuses for these AAA companies. Stop trying to grab our money. Start actually taking care of the games that you're making, because a lot of hard work goes into these games, regardless of how broken they are. But if you've done this out of passion, even if you've done it for a money grab, you need to make it worth it, because if people see that your product is good, they're going to buy. If they see that your product is shit and it's half-baked, they're not going to bother. And I mean, look at Ghost Recon Breakpoint. I'm mega pissed about this. The fact that the game come out on the 4th of October, I got it on the 1st because I got the biggest edition, literally less than a month later. It's good for some people in the community because you get it at a discount. But literally less than a month later, and that fucker's like 30% off. You can go get the Ultimate Edition. I don't know if it's still on sale now, but there was a time where you could get the Ultimate Edition for like 70 quid instead of 100. Then it was, I think, 60 quid instead of 85 for the next one down, the Gold Edition. Then it was like 40 instead of 60 for the Standard Edition of the game. Less than a month after release. I'm going to leave the video there. I'm going to stop ranting. I would like you guys to let me know what you think of gaming at the moment in the comments. Is there anything we can do? Like, do you think there's anything we can do? And not just give feedback to the developers because they don't listen. The amount of times I've sent tweets, I've left support tickets and like other stuff like that, and it just gets ignored. It gets thrown out the window. They don't give a shit. They've made their money. They're off skis. Is there anything you guys think we can do to make this a more enjoyable experience? Because I understand games are going to come with bugs, but when you're sitting there and you're dedicating so much time to do one thing in a game, if that thing messes up, you're going to lose your temper with it. There's no other words, there's no other way to say it. You are going to get pissed, you're going to be mad. There's something you've dedicated time and effort and put that into it, and it's broken, you're going to be annoyed. So let me know all the good stuff in the comments. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you for watching.